hi, Jack. Thanks so much for taking the time to sit down and speak to me.
Sure, glad to speak with you.
Great. So one of the first things I noticed coming into the cocktail party yesterday was the new name and logo that Layered Technologies has. So why did you decide to change it, and why now?
It's, well, we actually decided to change it after the acquisition of Fast Servers. So we took a look at a couple of different angles of what we really wanted to be. And since we're looking to grow in a lot of managed services and layering on top of technology, we thought it would be an easier name as Layeredtech rather than a full Layered Technologies or a full Fast Server. So we redesigned the logo, took a look at maybe a bit more professional appearance in the enterprise customers, and went ahead with that, and went ahead with the sort of layered stack server symbol next to it.
Fantastic. Well, you also mentioned some new offerings that Layered Technology is coming out with, kind of based on the deepening of partner relationships, namely the Microsoft announcement you guys made yesterday with regards to HyperV. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Sure. What our vision is really is to take a look in the virtualization space, which we think will be, as you heard in some presentations, a very disruptive technology.
Right.
It needs to reach a tipping point to really get there, but it is moving in the right direction. And what our underlying goal is to be the underlying infrastructure supplier supporting multiple virtualization technologies depending on what the customer needs. And HyperV was a great opportunity with a partner with Microsoft to really add on to the grid layer that we've already have out there with our customers, and have a second offering with a terrific partner, Microsoft. And we're fortunate to be the first out with the HyperV announcement as well.
Very good, very good. And of course, Fast Servers was another big announcement that Layered Technologies made not too long ago. So, what was behind the decision to acquire Fast Servers, and what do they bring to the table now that they're part of the Layered Technologies team?
What Fast Servers brings, I think, are two major components. One is a tremendous focus on customers, and we did an extensive research on their longer-term customers and what they thought about going with Fast Servers versus some of the other managed competitors, and it was off the charts positive. So number one was a great attention to customer service, which we thought would be a great add-on in addition to what we do already at Layered Technology, and number one. And then number two, the managed services offerings that they have, where they have a DEF CON line of offerings so that customers can really choose no management or self-management, if you will, all the way up through root access control by our company, and steps in between where we're monitoring ports or pinging ports, adding auto updates for the customer. So they have 5 different steps of choices now that not just the Fast Server customers would have, but the Layeredtech customers would have in general.
Great, great. Now, I have to say, I really enjoyed it in your presentation when you took it analog, because in the tech world, everyone does PowerPoint, no one really does that anymore. So you came down literally with a marker and drew out basically the 3 different ways companies can compete. You pointed out technology, quality support, and price. So then you put Layered Technologies right in the middle saying, well, we're going to compete on all 3. So how do you intend to deliver on that, considering, I imagine it would be a pretty big challenge to not be focusing on one and to focus on all 3.
Yeah, and that's a very good way to put it. I would tell you that I think everyone competes, tries to compete on all 3 levels, and it's very difficult. Most end up prioritized in one of those 3 boxes. They're either a price leader, they're a technology or an innovative leader, or they're the best service support group around. And when I put those 3 areas of how to compete, you really do have to emphasize or take them in priority order. I put Layeredtech, not to start saying it myself, I'll put Layeredtech in the middle because I think what we can do, first from a virtualization standpoint and working with our partners, both as an incubator for developing new technologies and as a partner for rolling out things like HyperV, that first we can lead from a technology innovation solution, but our main emphasis and our core is customer support and service. So where we add the best of Fast Server to the best of the old Layered Technologies to form Layeredtech by focusing on the customers through management services, through more than just accommodating tickets. I think that while we're fighting to be a leader in the virtualization and the managed end, we can actually add on services to support customers. And my point on the pricing is that we need to be competitive, we need to be market-based. That doesn't mean we need to be the Hyundais of the world, but we do need to be competitive-based for the particular services that we sell, either in the enterprise space or in any other space we go after.
Fantastic. Well, considering some of these big changes that we've been seeing in Layeredtech, I've got to ask, what's the vision with this? Are you grooming it for something, or where do you plan on taking it?
I would say that what we're doing 100% now is focused on, one, satisfying the customers that we have and growing the embedded base of customers. Two, from a vision standpoint, looking to be a leader in that managed and virtualization space. They're the two things we're really focused on, and growing profitably would be the third specific. That might sound a bit boring on all three of them, but if we basically do the fundamentals correctly in supporting the customers, if we can be the leader in the service and virtualization management space, that I think that the longer term event of whatever happens, or we grow individually or we grow with other acquisitions, all of which are always possibilities, happens. But our focus will be on the customers as we do it, and whatever happens in the longer term regard will happen.
So, we're here attending the third annual LTPact. What have you guys decided to focus on with this particular event? Big piece for us was the Fast Server acquisition, and what it really brings to the table, so that realistically we don't just say here's an add-on or bolt-on business. How do we really accommodate the synergies in support of our customers? So that's what you saw a lot of, and that's what I think you hear a lot of. And again, we have ex-Fast Server employees as well as ex-Layeredtech employees all forming the new company here with the customer base. So I would say number one is to show why we did it and talk about why we did it. Number two is to focus really on our partners and how that base is expanding, both smaller partners like a 3Terra for our grid technology, and like a Microsoft for HyperV, and really take advantage of what we can offer as a group, with Layered hopefully bringing the parts together and the partners bringing their expertise to the table. So at the end of the day, if the customers leave and they say, what did I learn? I learned that Layered is, one, going to support its customers. Two, is going to grow in these certain areas that we discussed, virtualization and support management. And three, they really have a solid base of customers. We'll feel very, very good about that. So what would you say Layered Technologies is taking away from throwing this event? I would say that first, there's two things. One, what we want to do is make sure each year we improve it, and we'll get some feedback from our customers to see how to do that. So the first takeaway will be after the fact, after everybody goes back to their normal day jobs, and we can do a quick survey to say, what did we do right, what did we do wrong? But what do we hope to take away from it? We have a lot of input from customers and some ideas from partners along the way of what we should be offering, what we should be changing to better support the base. And we actually will go back, sift through those and prioritize them, and then hopefully deliver on some of the requests. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today. Thank you. I enjoyed it.